Hey, good morning. I want to begin a new thought. We've talked about faith, hope, and love, and I want to think a little more about another virtue, one that we don't talk a ton about, and that is joy. And I want to think about that because I think right now, in our present situation, with culture and all that we're dealing with COVID and numbers spiking in our state here in Utah, it's happened recently, and it just feels like right when it's starting to shrink, it changes, and it just is easy for us to feel really weighed down. And so I want to think about joy. I want us to spend a few days just meditating on that, on some of these daily thoughts. Now, this may seem like a weird place for me to start with joy, but I want to start with Proverbs 16:9. Here's what it says. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Now, I know this doesn't use the word joy, but I want to start here because I think one of the great thieves of joy, the robbers of joy, is the idea of unmet expectations. A number of years ago, there's a study that comes out every year that talks about the happiest cultures, happiest nations in the world. And they have a metric through different social studies and different responses and different mechanisms that they determine this. Well, for a number of years, Denmark was at the top or near the top. And they wondered why, and they began to understand that one of the things embedded in Danish culture is the idea of culturally low expectations. People didn't expect a lot. Just something that was woven in the fabric of cultural tradition was just to not expect things to be awesome. And therefore, because their expectations weren't raised, then they weren't overly disappointed. Therefore, their level of happiness maintained a greater equilibrium. I think this verse applies a little bit to that. The heart of man plans his way. Okay, like I plan my way, and sometimes I hold on to those plans kind of tightly. And as I hold on to those, when they start to crumble or things don't work out or they get frustrated, it's easy for me to get frustrated and to feel a kind of angst at it all. Well, this says the heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. It's the Lord who ultimately lays out what happens in a given day. So if I come to the day open-handed and I say, okay, Lord, what is it that you have today? I'm ready to receive from you. I'm ready to hear from you, and I'm ready for you to do what you choose to do with this day. Then I think what will happen is, at a baseline level, my expectations are going to be held at bay, and I am going to have more joy because I'm going to rest in God's plan at the start of my day without trying to put out my agenda to be the thing that ends up dictating all of my day. So plan, it says the heart of man, you're going to plan, but hold it loosely because the Lord is the one who orders your steps. May the Lord give you joy today.